There we go.
So,
Andreas.
hey, hold on a second. Let me
Yep.
vault here. It's
No, no
like
problem.
monitor. Oh man.
So how is it over there, my friend?
Out here, man, it's pretty good. It's a weekend, 7 a.m. over here.
7 in
Been
the
busy
morning.
with school.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's still quite hot over here. I know back home it's cooling down a little bit. We still have like 41 degrees, which is like what, 110 Fahrenheit, something like that.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, so
That's insane. That's
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 like
pretty fucking
day
bad. You seem like
daytime
a hairy
high.
guy. You seem like a hairy guy. I feel like that would be less than desirable.
I don't think hair has anything to do with it. It's more so what you're wearing.
Well, I get like swamp ass pretty. I don't wear shorts also because shorts are
Yeah, to be honest, I rarely wear them over here. Just trying to be respectful to the
right,
I mean,
right.
you can wear like the clam diggers and stuff, no problem. I don't know
Yeah.
what they call them now, clam diggers, capri,
No,
whatever,
yeah,
but
no, I know what you're talking about.
I don't wear the stylish short ones that come above the kneecap anymore. I think I'm getting too old for that anyways, but pardon the noise, just making a coffee here. Probably against my better judgment. Yeah, work's been stressful, so part of the reason why I'm up so early too.
So, for
I think I
those of you
told
who
you.
don't know, he's a teacher, and he's a Canadian guy who is so good at teaching that a bunch of rich oil having um, uh, the brown people. What's the
Oh, it's good.
what's the place called?
It's Qatar, so yeah, we're gonna
Qatar,
host
yeah.
the
And they
World
were
Cup
like,
in a
we
couple
want
years.
him. They were like, we want him so fucking badly. We'll pay him. We'll pay him to live here, you know. And so they shipped him to Qatar, and he teaches there for. And you gotta remember he teaches in a very very high what's the word, highfalutin area. It's really cool. It's cool what you do.
Very high income, yeah.
Yeah,
They're quite lucky out here.
very cool.
That's a quite a long story, I guess, but to break it down, yeah, they're running an offshore school over here, and basically the local people are they're a mix, man. Not all of them are super rich. Not all of them are educated, but they value education,
Hmm.
and obviously the incentive right now is not only to have kids to build their population, but I guess the expats come with that. So we're outnumbering the local population quite heavily right now,
Yeah,
and a lot of people are enjoying the lifestyle here, helping each other out.
that's good. Then that's good. It's good to hear, especially nowadays, because the world's ending and all. So the first question was, well, I quite literally just have 3 words written down for this topic, but it's a topic I definitely wanted to bring up. So I don't know if this is something that you noticed, but it's definitely something that I and a lot of other brothers on 4chan have noticed. That there's a lot of I just remembered, this is live. I can't fucking say this. There's a lot of mixed race couples in modern day film, and there's actually a conspiracy behind that. Like for example, in like the new Spider-Man or The Walking Dead or any of these shows, there's biracial couples, and the conspiracy doesn't lie in the fact that they're biracial couples. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But the conspiracy lies in the fact that all of the directors and people who casted are Jews. They're Jewish, and so that raised the question. Hey, is there something going on here? You know what I'm saying? And that was definitely something that was very very interesting, considering I'm Jewish. So
I did not know you were. No, I
I'm
to be
not.
honest
I'm
with
not
you, I haven't
actually.
followed film too much since the whole Corona thing.
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
uh, I know I know you're talking about, I guess, Rick Grimes and what Michonne from
Yeah.
Montreal.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
that
oh
was a
shit.
bit of a weird
It's like
twist.
you got like this
I think I got
country
to that
guy,
point.
like this guy, Rick Grimes was probably said the N word like an uncountable amount of times in his in his career. You know.
With his partner Shannon and everything.
Right. Right.
Yeah, that was I was not expecting that, to be honest with you, but
Yeah. What do you think about all these riots that have happened in my country?
oh, dude, yeah. So funny you asked me that. I was, you know, I'm a busy guy, but there
Yeah.
was that explosion over in
Mm.
Lebanon. I don't know if
Yeah.
you heard that on
Beirut.
the
Yeah.
news, but don't know the full details of that. But basically, like, shit hit the fan. Like, it looked like a mushroom cloud,
It
man. Like
was
the
an
way the
ammonium
vapor, like,
nitrate explosion, and
yeah, and whether or not they were using that for whatever or just fireworks factory, I don't know the full details,
mhm.
but I watched the aftermath of that, man. Like there were apartment buildings broken, there were like cars like looked
Yeah.
like they got vaporized or and then not too long after that, man, I saw another video. I don't know if it was on Facebook or whatnot, but I looked at it and I'm like, God, man, it's another video of Lebanon.
Yeah.
And then as I watched the video, I'm like, wait a second, those don't look like Lebanese people. And I'm looking, and it turned out it was fucking Minneapolis, man. And
Yeah.
you know, I haven't been in touch too much with the news back, you know, in North America a whole lot. I get a little bit here and there on the radio on the drive to work.
Yeah.
But man, it's sad that people are so pissed off that they feel they need to just go out and smash another person's
Dude,
stuff.
exactly. Exactly.
I I don't know about you, man, but I was raised old school Europeans, and my dad was the kind of guy
I got a job in
that,
security just because of this.
yeah,
Private
well, there you
security.
go.
I'm
So
a private security contractor now.
that's pretty cool.
Dude,
But going
I didn't
back,
think I would do it, but I just applied and then did an interview and they were like, "Yeah, sure, just do it." And
well, you go
now,
to where the jobs are, right? It's the same
yeah,
as my
yeah.
situation.
Yep, yep.
People didn't want me back home teaching. They didn't have any kids. And here they're having kids, and you know, there's an opportunity. So, but yeah, go back to what my dad was saying, man. Like,
Mhm.
he
Sorry.
taught my brother and I at a young age, like, you know, he didn't understand when like a rock artist or something would smash the guitar on stage. And his like whole mentality was like, if you didn't make the guitar, like whether or not you have money or not to buy it, like why are you smashing it?
Yeah.
And like these people that are smashing other people's businesses, like they're not even like busting up a cop station or whatever that they're angry at. They're just out for the sake of
Yeah.
breaking shit. And I never understood that, man. I don't know like if that's like something
It's people who
that
want to rather it be anger or not, they have an urge to destroy shit and they feel that if they wear a mask and get in a crowd of other people who want to break and destroy shit, they can get away with it. And chances are they do, unless they go to a federal building or a government building,
yeah, and I
and then a
mean
bunch of Fed boys pull up in tan, camo gear and arrest you. I don't know if you've seen that, like the clip of like a minivan just pulls up to a group of protesters, and one of them
mm,
threw a like a
yep, I saw that.
yeah pipe
I
bomb,
saw that.
and they just carried him away. He knew what he did. You know what I mean? That he didn't say anything. They just walked up to him and then walked in. The fucking driver of the car. You know me and my night vision. How I like my night vision. That the driver of the minivan was wearing fucking dual tubed night vision DTNVG 10s, which is just that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, no, I saw the video you're talking about, and I thought, like, man, like the world, at least over on your side of the world too, man. It's like
Yeah.
I'm not saying the Middle East is perfect. There's plenty of shit going on,
No.
but
Yeah. No.
where I'm at right now, it's that shit I don't think would happen. The
Right.
closest anybody over here had to that was back during the Arab Spring, I guess, like early 2011-ish, which I guess is kind of what got Qatar in trouble in the first place with its neighbors. Their news agency was basically like, you know, why is your country doing like the old school ways? And the people started protesting, especially over in Africa, Tunisia. Um, they got sick and tired of it, man, and the people they took to the streets. So I guess that's one similarity. But where I'm at right now, man, the people are pretty happy, despite the blockade that's been going on now for over 3 years.
Yeah.
the expat population, they seem to enjoy having jobs over here, and I don't think they're gonna do anything that would jeopardize that, whether it be rioting or smashing. Plus, I don't think they have a reason to be honest. So
Hmm. It's like there's like so much wrong with it, and like if you just like they look at what they're saying, shit like a cab, all cops are bastards. Like it just made you're summarizing a group of people and assuming that they are all bad, and just being a cop right now has to be the fucking worst, man. I wouldn't even want to be a cop right now, dude. That would just be fucking like
yeah, I know what
it's
you
not a
mean.
job I want, dude. Like,
I
ugh.
worked. I don't know if I told you. I worked for the police back in 2011.
Mhm.
I was working for the 911 in the dispatch, and the money was great, the job was exciting, but the novelty of it wore off soon, you know? And it's like,
Yeah.
whether you're a cop or a civilian in the radio room, man, you're dealing with everybody's worst day. Like, and these are people that they don't have certain skills, whether it be social or
Mhm.
I don't know, even logical skills. So their default programming is to call the cops when something goes wrong, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like when something goes wrong with their neighbors, they'll call the cops. Like it's
Right. Some
so
people
yeah,
call the cops
as
just
a
to check
cop,
in on their neighbors. Like, fucking, hey, I haven't
yeah,
heard from my
true,
neighbor in
true.
a bit. That's a welfare check, you know?
Yeah, but going back to what you're saying, like not wanting to be a cop, I mean I agree with you, man. Like right now, there's so much pressure on them.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't think of another job maybe outside of healthcare with the whole Corona thing,
Yeah.
or maybe even to a certain degree teaching, because there's a lot of pressure on us right now, especially in private schools, that we have to change almost entirely how we do the job. But with police, yeah, there's just constant spotlight, constant pressure, and
Right.
they're
No,
human.
it's
Like they're gonna
fucking.
make mistakes, man.
It feels like, in a way, like they're celebrities. Like you have a camera on you 24/7. Everything you say and do is recorded. And it's like they say to the people, it's like everything you say can and will be used against you. It's like fuck, even more
Yeah,
so
yeah.
for cops, eh? Because like they gotta, they
It's the
gotta.
accountability, man. Yeah, like because there's so much pressure on them, and
And there are
like I
some
said, they're
cops who don't get it. They don't realize, hey, I'm on fucking camera right now. I shouldn't be doing this. It's making me look bad. And that sounds like a selfish thing to think, like, oh, I shouldn't do this. It's making me look bad. But that's really, as a cop, that's something you have to consider. You have to consider how it looks on camera. You have to consider how this is going to look if someone
yeah,
started recording at the worst part of whatever you're going to do. You know what I mean?
yeah. I agree. And like I don't know, did you see the video? I think it's from the last 2 weeks. It
I can't
was
even shoot people at my job. Like,
female. Yeah.
hmm,
Well, you have a weapon though, I'm assuming, right?
yeah, I carry an M4.
Yeah, so depending on what you're
I carry an
securing or
M4 and a
keeping.
duty belt. I'm trying to get a handgun as soon as possible, but I gotta be fucking. I'm not gonna say
But
because I'm
yeah,
streaming,
like
but
with
yeah.
with the police, I just watched a video yesterday actually when I came home. It's a female officer pulling over a young black male, 19 years old. He's with his mom. I don't know if you saw it,
Mm,
but they
no.
literally ran a stop sign right in front of his house. Didn't look
Okay.
like a big deal. People do it all the time, right? Like,
Sure. Yeah.
not saying I'm not condoning it.
No.
The
Yeah.
guy's a
No. But
young
I
driver.
get
He
what you're
should
saying.
be. So he pulls over to the left, which is where his house was on the left side of the street after he made a right, and the police officer apparently wanted him to pull over to the right.
Yeah.
So from her perspective, he was not complying with her instructions, which she said later on that she repeated 3 times. I forget. I don't have the clip on me right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But basically, the guy's mom was like livid because of all the stuff that's going on with the police and Black
Yeah.
Lives Matter and all that. So she starts screaming at the cop like, okay, he ran the stop sign. She wasn't contesting that, but she was basically like, just give us the ticket. Let us go inside our house. We're right here. And the whole time the cop had her hand, I guess, ready to, if anything would escalate further, to draw her weapon, her sidearm. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought it was pretty crazy. Like both of them didn't really handle it well. I mean, maybe the 19-year-old guy was the best because he was quite quiet. He let his mama bear do all the.
Yeah.
But
That's the way to do
I
it.
could see from both perspectives. Like the
Oh yeah.
officer, I mean, I don't know what the stats are, but there's a lot of shit that happens with cops during like roadside,
Oh no, I don't know if
harm.
you've ever seen this clip, but I'm about to remind a clip real quick. There's a clip of I'm Hispanic. I'm just gonna say that for because I'm streaming and everything I say is going to be used against me. So, but I'm a Mexican, and anyway, this female cop pulls up on a Hispanic man and goes up to the driver's side window, or not the driver's side. She goes to the passenger window and knocks. Sees the guy. He's fiddling around. He's got his hoodie on. He's barely showing his face. She goes to the driver's side. She's knocking on the window. She's like, I need you to roll your window down. And he's speaking Spanish to her. He's like, I need you to roll the window down. I got to talk to you. He was vehicles reported stolen, and he had a warrant out for his arrest. They asked him to roll down the window, and before anything, before like just through his rambling, he just pulls out a handgun and just pops around through the window. Somehow, some fucking how, it misses. Like if you watch the video, you would be like, holy shit, she should be dead on the ground. But she circles around to the passenger side of the car and empties an entire Glock magazine into the fucking guy. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and then afterwards it's like paperwork. It's
yeah.
a pile
Oh
of
my
paperwork.
god. Like
All
imagine.
that, all that because they tried to defend their life. And I mean, like, I empathize with the cops. Like, you don't know who you're gonna get. You
Right.
don't know if it's like a 30-year-old guy and he's on his way to school, or I don't know. Some people are doing school that late now,
Yeah.
but you don't know what they're doing. And like, there could be that one or two guys that, or girls even for that matter, that don't want to be caught,
Yeah.
and they will do anything to, you know, preserve their freedom, I guess. So if it's between some who they believe shitty cop and their freedom,
Hmm.
it's like the old days of piracy, man. You
It's
don't want to follow the rules, you want to do your own thing, but
right.
someone says you can't, and if you're caught, or you're gonna be in shit, you do. It's like survival mode on both sides, man, I would say. And for a lot of times the cops are the ones often to blame, but
My
if
first
they didn't,
memory of the
they,
cops, real quick, was when I was probably sorry, 5 or 6, and they were dragging my mom out of the house, and my mom was screaming and resisting, and she had two cops grabbing her by both arms, lifting her out. As you could probably imagine what that looks like. She's flaring her
yeah,
legs everywhere, and I'm like pulling on the cop's leg and asking him to stop. And I'm like, why? What are they doing? Why are they taking her to jail? And am I gonna see my mom again? And so I have to sit there for the rest of that night wondering if I'm ever gonna see my mom again. And she was just yelling at my dad, and my dad called the cops because blah blah blah. Long story, but that was like almost 20.
classic domestic, right? Yeah.
Classic domestic, yeah, classic domestic. So that was like 10, 15 years ago. It was a long fucking time ago. Um, but that was my first memory of the cops. But I
Yeah,
somehow
not a
ended
good
up,
one.
yeah, no, not a good one. And a lot of people have these memories of cops, but they put up this like shroud that and assume that every single one of these police officers is going to be horrible. Like if you look at that domestic charge, my mom really should have been dragged out of that house that day. She had every right to be dragged out of that house, and it's probably better. It's probably for the better that she was. And as an adult, I could see from the cop's standpoint, they were just doing their job. There was just literally
Yep.
just a
Yep.
domestic call, like a day. This is just a standard day in the life of a cop. And I guess just growing, I was like, okay, maybe all cops aren't horrible, and obviously, and there's I work at like the place that I'm contracted at mostly is a dispensary. They uh,
Mhm.
they pay the best, and they're nice. It's a great place because you sit there 12 hours a day. You do relatively nothing, and it's a dispensary, so not a ton of people are coming in, but there is a select few, mostly older people. It's recreational in my state, so a lot of people just come in to get free weed, or not free weed, but legal weed, and all they have to have is a
Mhm.
driver's license. Then they're not on record or anything, just in the computer, but that's about it. And it's weird just holding an M4 and a plate carrier and just standing there, just while people come in and out. And so they asked me specifically. They're like, when you're here, you talk to the customers, talk as much as possible, tell them where to go in line, do whatever you have to do, just talk to them because they're looking at you and they're looking at all you contractors and they think, holy fuck, they these are like weed people. So when weed people,
PMC.
yeah, right, literally a PMC. When people see, like a security, especially they said when people, especially marijuana people, see authority, they tend to get scared. And so talking to them is a good way to like, you know, it's it shows them, not to fear the dude holding a fucking rifle, especially when there's soccer moms who come in there who see that and they're like assault weapon, that's assault weapon. That's a mass killer machine right there. But
Yeah.
but yeah, no, especially at that one. It's in Owasso. I probably shouldn't have said that, but it's a really nice place. Fucking super nice place. Clean as
No, it's
hell.
good. You got a job, and it sounds like it's
It's
for the most
salary,
part
dude, and I
stress
no
free.
high school diploma, literally stress free. Like this is like one of the best places to be contracted because it's just stoners. It's literally just stoners walking in and out. And I mentioned something the last night that I was working there. I was like, this is like the most well-armed fucking dispensary in Michigan. And she goes, I really don't even need security. The only reason I contracted you guys is because a guy punched the mailbox like 2 weeks ago. And I was like, really? And she's like, yeah, a guy got salty because like we denied him service, and he punched the
Yeah, and
mailbox.
that's usually how anything that with involving a gun is. It's always like what do you call it? Reactionary, you know? Say
Right.
it was the same with the police, man. Like I worked for the police in a medium-sized city,
Mhm.
and like we were based off of what the protocol was in for Toronto, minus a few things.
Yeah.
So like Toronto, if somebody called 911, they had to dispatch to every single call, whether you made contact with the person or not, because some person at some point, had, for lack of a better way of saying it, like had something happened, like the head
Yeah.
got chopped off or whatever. But until that happened in our city, they wouldn't do that. It was a waste of a resource, right? So what I'm trying to get at is like they won't do anything, like they won't just get security until something happens. And then it becomes like policy or whatever, and they're like the insurance or whatever won't insure them unless they're providing proof of like what your job is securing. So
Yeah. It's it's really weird. It's just sorry. What the
yeah, no worries, man. I know what you're getting at though, man. It's like it's weird. Then you think like, wow, I've got a job here because some dude punched something else, right? Yeah.
smoking a thing? My apologies, but yeah, no, it's. I think that I, and you know why I got this job.
Yeah, I do. I know a little bit about your background.
No. Like what gave me the idea for this job.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I know.
It was Tarkov. It was Tarkov.
That's that why I threw in the PMC.
Yeah. No, Tarkov made me
I'm with you.
wanna.
I'm with you, man. It's early, but I'm awake. I got my coffee here. I'm good.
Fuck yeah. I mean, you're gonna go take a shit here in a minute. In a minute here.
No, I'm good, man.
So I have to bring up another thing with you. It's another question. Not really a question, but more of a. You know what? I probably can't say that. Never mind.
Commentary.
Yeah, no, it was a question. There was a conspiracy that um, the Israeli country, Israel, you
Commonly, yeah.
commonly known as Israel, um, the Israeli country, commonly known as Israel, did 9/11.
Oh boy, you're going that far back.
That
No,
far
I was
back.
well, it's 20 years now, I'd say. For me, that's a long time.
Yeah,
That's like
yeah,
almost half of my life.
yeah.
But no, like it's funny. As soon as you mentioned Israel, I started thinking about the situation here in the Gulf, for example.
What's
And
happening
for the
there?
longest time, well, no, for the longest time here, the Arab nations, part of the GCC,
Yeah,
were kind of anti-Israel, right? Because of the situation with the Palestinians
yeah,
and the dispute over the land and blah 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 blah. but they were kind of behaving because I guess they knew that America is fully supporting Israel. So I just thought, like in the last couple of months, it was very, very interesting, interesting to see that, for example, the UAE are now talking nice with Israel, and I think the same with Egypt, if I'm not mistaken. So it's like I'm wondering like what's going on there, because
Yeah,
for the longest time they did not approve or even consider friendship with Israel. And now all of a sudden, with maybe behind the doors pressure from the states, they're being told to play nice.
yeah.
So just yeah, food for thought.
It's
As
that
for
actually kind of
9/11, I
ties
don't
in.
know.
That kind of ties in actually with the 9/11 thing.
Yeah,
And
I don't
it
know.
makes
It's
sense because okay, so I real quick I disclaimer for the Twitch. I don't believe any of what I'm about to say. I'm just saying it for it's a topic for those listening on the Red Pill Network. This is you listen up. So on the day of September 11th, 2001, um, the Twin Towers were struck by two airplanes, right? And then Tower 7 fell. I'm sure you're familiar with Tower 7, right?
yep, yeah, that was one
Right,
of the buildings that fell down that was in the vicinity of the Twin
right.
Towers.
Completely, I mean, I wouldn't say out of the blast radius, but definitely in an odd spot to be completely destroyed. Now, and then you go across that the little water canal, and look, and there's a parking lot that perfectly captures. You can perfectly see Building 7 completely collapsed. But a lady called the police that day and got interviewed by several news networks because she found a group, a van of Israeli men in
Oh boy.
Hebrew uniform outfit, whatever you would call that, and they were dancing. They were dancing. And I swear to God, if you look up Israeli dancing and then just conspiracy or Israeli dancing 9/11, you will find this. And they were dancing and cheering and high fiving, and they had a camera on a tripod, perfectly set up next to their van, perfectly set up with a perfect shot of Tower 7 falling. She called the cops on this. The cops intercepted that van, and it was a group of 5 Israeli spies who were on a mission from 2 weeks ago, and it was 2 weeks prior to September 11th. And they were on a mission from that point up until they were caught by the police and then deported back to Israel. And that was part of an Israeli spy thing that was going on, alleged spy thing. And I say alleged; it was confirmed a spy thing. Spy thing is saying spy thing is very unconvincing, but hear me out. Anyway, so clearly, spy operations were deployed on this area, and then this happens, and then there's the theory, not really theory, and you can look this one up. 3,000 people who worked in the World Trade Center in that area, who were of Jewish descent, not Jewish descent, but they were Jewish, like almost Hasidic, uh, didn't show up to work on September 11th. Called in
Hmm.
sick. And so I propose to you the theory that Israel performed the acts of September 11th, 2001 on the World Trade Center.
Do you think they were in cooperation with members of something in the States, or do you think it was just like a solo job
I don't know what it was. I mean,
designed
I haven't
to,
really looked into it.
if it, yeah, I haven't either. The details are foggy in my mind, but
Right. I don't know what it
yeah,
was,
I don't
but
know, man. It's just I wish people would get along, man. Whether it's over here or there, riots or not, man.
and then that whole thing happening that they blame it on the Iraqi, and then Israel and America are get super tight and then go invade that country, get all that oil. America makes all that money. Israel makes all that money. Boom, boom. Jews did 9/11.
Yeah, I tried to explain to the kids here about the first Gulf War because, as you know, like Kuwait is, well, you may not know, they're friends with Qatar still, even though they're the emir or whatever just passed away the other day. We've got our third day of mourning or whatever. They play the Quran on the radio, but no, the Iraq War with Iran in the 80s was a problem. And everybody was kind of friends with Iraq at the time. This is before Saddam was known as the bad guy, right?
Yeah.
And I guess a lot of people viewed Iran, I still do, as the enemy. And those countries were kind of, from what I assume, egging Iraq on to go to war with them. And after the end of the war, they were neither country, Iraq nor Iran, they won. It just wasted a lot of money. And as you know, Iraq being an oil country, they basically pleaded with their neighbors, particularly Kuwait, to stop production of oil, like, or lower the amount of barrels they were producing per day to increase the price, so that they could, get some money back from this very expensive war that was going on. And Kuwait, from what I understand, basically said, "Not our problem. It's your problem. You went to war. We're gonna sell the barrel of oil for $5 or whatever, and too bad if you want 10. It's not our problem." But I think things they escalated when I guess Saddam received information from his advisors that not only was Kuwait still producing X amount of barrels per day at a lower cost, but that they were also apparently stealing oil with slant or cross drilling, like from the Iraqi oil reserves and taking it to theirs. So they were like, apparently he was informed that they were stealing his oil and selling it at a lower cost. So that pretty much triggered the whole invasion of Kuwait, and
What
the
was
rest is
that?
history.
What happened with Gaddafi?
Over in Africa, kind of the same thing, I guess. Everybody said he's the bad guy and he wanted to break free from the petrodollar because I
He got like
I don't know
stabbed
if
in the
you're aware that.
asshole like a trillion times and then
Yeah,
died.
but I don't know the full situation there, but basically from what I gather, a lot of the people liked him. There were obviously people who were
Yeah.
against him. No dissimilar to the States right now with Trump, but
hmm
the guy was trying to do something, whether it was, 50-50 for the country, for himself. I don't know the full details, but he was trying to break free from the US dollar
Got
as the
clean.
currency for the oil.
Yeah.
And he basically said, well, we've got gold, like let's turn it into some kind of a different currency. And I guess that threatened some other people that, it's all economical, man. And once that happens, I think you get painted the villain or the bad guy. And it's like, back in high school or whatever, once you get labeled as something, the rumors just, you can't stop them anymore,
Yeah. Yeah. People
And
ain't
I,
taking
I
it
don't
like
know the
that.
full details on him. I'm not saying he's a saint, but I'm sure the media painted a much different picture than the
In the
reality,
States,
and the rest,
absolutely.
not just the States, like all over, man, even in the Middle East, and like the clout that the US has. And I don't know who was the spearhead of all that. Maybe it was like Obama and Hillary Clinton, the drone strikes and all that.
Right.
But the rest is history, man. Like Saddam, he got removed from power. Gaddafi got removed from power, and what led to both, I would argue, is a huge amount of instability. And when that happens, there's different individuals that are perhaps less on the radar that seek to make an opportunity out of it,
Obama
right?
went
And
mad with the fucking drone strikes, dude. Holy shit. Obama was just drone striking everybody.
all of you guys are paying for all that, right? So it's
You're
like, I
goddamn
don't
right.
know, man.
You're
It's
goddamn right. And I'm
it's a
gonna drone strike this country. And then I'm
I
going
wonder what
to kill Bin
those things
Laden.
cost, man. Like the drone itself is probably,
That was like
the research.
$2.2 million for one of those
Yeah, and then like what are they
drones.
launching? Like Hellfire missiles or whatever?
Yeah, and those
Latest
alone are
latest
like
for
fucking like 100, like not even like probably like $880,000. Look it up.
Yeah, I
I'm
was
gonna
gonna
look it
say a
up.
couple $100,000 a pop, and then it's the collateral, man. Like I try to
115
understand.
grand for a Hellfire missile.
Yeah, I mean, like think of what
A
that would do to
Tomahawk
people.
cruise missile costs $1.5 million.
Million, yeah, yeah. More if it's the D version, the nuclear one.
Military drone price. Let's see.
But yeah, man, it's like I don't know, man. Sometimes I don't know why they're sticking their nose so far in other people's business. And I mean, like, it goes back to like the story you told me when you were a kid. Like, when you're a kid, you don't understand, for example, why the cops are dragging your mom away.
Mm,
You just think, oh, they're the bad guy. And like, I
right.
think a lot of kids that, are affected by the US's foreign policies, they just grow up hating, like my my dad, I don't know if I told you about him. Like, he grew up in Austria during World War II. He's born 1937,
Oh
so
man.
he grew up under the whole Hitler regime. So they had to hail Hitler and all that at school in the
Literally,
morning.
bro.
And then
Literally.
afterwards, they went through the denazification, right? So during the occupation of Austria,
Good
well,
morning.
Vienna in
How do you get there?
particular, they had British, French, Russian, and Americans, like MP patrols. So there'd be four of them in a jeep,
Yeah.
and those guys would be like just maintaining the peace. But basically, they went from Hitler's the best, he's our savior, to Hitler was a bad guy, and everybody acted like the U.S. were white knights. But like, reality is different from what people will tell you on either side, right? Like, my dad, he lived nowhere near the nearest factory,
What
and
do you mean, like
yet
the Jew killing factories?
no, I mean like industrial, like
Oh, okay.
war effort, right? So he was about, I don't know, was that 4 kilometers, he said? So probably like what,
Four
two and three
kilometers.
quarter miles, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And yet
Yeah, I know kilometers. It's just
a bomb
thousand
blew up his
yards.
neighbor's house. A
Holy
bomb blew up the
fuck.
neighbor's house. Innocent lady, right? So grandmother took my aunt and my dad onto a train and said, "Let's get the heck away from the city. Let's go up to the farmland. They won't bomb farms."
Yeah.
And on the way there, man, like, civilian train gets strafed 3 or 4 times from an American
Jesus
uh,
Christ.
twin fuselage. I don't know, a P-38 or P-61. I don't know. But my dad described it. He said the
What, the
thing made three or
pistol?
four passes,
Oh, the
and
airplane.
the airplane,
Fucking A.
the with the twin tails. He said it made 3 or 4 passes on the civilians, and they had to go underneath the axles.
I'm
But
just thinking
like,
in my
just
head, like, Das AC-130 inbound. Like, like,
yeah,
like,
well,
on a
yeah, the
hill.
equivalent of
They
it,
don't
right?
have the
But
fucking
like,
radio.
this was mid 1940s,
And
towards the
this
end of
was
the war, and like,
Americans attacking, right?
yeah, and
Wow,
like,
yeah, yeah.
think about it.
No,
Think
you'd
about
be
the
like,
kids.
holy fuck, dude, fuck America. Be like, those
You'd be,
guys
yeah,
just
like,
blew
you're
up
like,
my.
we're not a
They just blew up
target.
Cindy and Monica.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
And then they go on a train and they're getting attacked again. It's like, but the story is like, I don't know if you know, like, nowadays the joysticks that you use in a military aircraft, they call it the pickle button. You know why?
Drops a big old pickle Rick on him.
No, because the B-17 bombers, probably the same ones that did like the daytime bombing on Vienna there, were boasting that they could hit a pickle barrel, like, from whatever, they said it was
Yeah.
so accurate. My ass, if it was so accurate, you wouldn't be killing civilians. And it's like the same story, 80 years later with the drone strikes, man. It's like, I don't know. My opinions are, it's like, you wonder then when a kid grows up with a distaste for America in their mouth. Not that my dad was spewing out
Right.
horrible
No.
things about America, but he was like, when he was older, he's like, we were told that you guys were the white knights.
The
And
White Knights.
yeah, like the saviors, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So
See what I sent you?
yeah, that looks like a good old hellfire.
Yep. That's Missile Rick, baby.
Yeah, so
Imagine being 11 years old and not knowing that Missile Rick is flying at you at 3,500 miles per fucking hour, ready to blow up you and your entire classroom. That's absolutely atrocious, but,
yeah, that's the
it's
politics we live in, man.
yeah, dude, quite literally, man. Um, I have a game show. We're at 40 minutes. This is the game show, okay? Uh, is it gay? All right. So here we got some questions, and we're just gonna go off the bat, and we're gonna ask you, is it gay? Okay. You're just gonna hit me with a yes or no, and tell me a little bit what you think, if it's gay or not. And if I'm really curious, I'm gonna ask maybe as to why it's gay or not. You know what I mean? If I get
Okay,
like a
so hold on.
hell
Like,
yeah.
When you use the term gay, are you talking about like homosexual or as in like just the alternative meaning, which is like it's stupid or whatever? I just
You
want
know,
to clarify. I
kind
may
of
have...
both. Like for example, let me give you an example of like if you were to ask me a question, right? Um, we're all
I'm
we're
just trying to be
let's
careful of
say
what I say here because this is the internet after all, right?
right. Someone walks up to me and says, "Hey, can I bum one of your cigarettes?" Now you're gonna
No,
ask
that's
me,
not
"Is that
gay.
gay?" I'm gonna be like, "That's gay. Get away from me."
No, I just think that's just a term people use. That's I know what bum means. We used it back home in
Not
Canada.
even like that's gay, like as in homosexual. It's like get your own fucking pack of cigarettes.
So again, I got to be careful what I say, right?
Right,
Because
right. Well, I mean,
people
it's
listening could be
not you
putting words
don't
on them.
now. This is more of an opinion show, right? But
Okay. Yeah.
it's here we go. Ready? Water with extra ice. You're at a bar and your buddy next to you says, "Let me get a water with extra ice." Extra ice.
No, I don't think that's gay at all. I think maybe he might be the driver.
Okay, right.
Whatever, maybe it's hot,
Good
right?
answer, but it's
Some
wrong.
people like cold water.
You look at him and
My
you
wife
say, "That's pretty gay, dude."
my wife would tell me, "Don't drink water with ice in it. You're gonna have diarrhea." Something like
What?
that.
What? You get
No, that's
diarrhea
true.
from fucking ice?
Probably, man. If you're eating grapes or something beforehand, yeah, oh yeah.
Water activates your colon by 20%. So just so you know. And then
Next
caffeine
question.
does. Next one. Okay. Oh fuck, what was it? I had like remembered this one. Oh fuck. Oh yeah. You're at a friend's house, okay? And you just slept the night over, you had a rough night, you were drinking, or maybe I don't know, who knows. You were having a fun night. And somehow you shit your pants. You need a pair of underwear. You could just go commando, throw away the underwear, burn it, do whatever you want, throw it in the street. No one has to know. Or, you get a pair of the actual underwear. Say, what you would you get a pair from your friend? Would you say, "Hey, bro, can I get a pair of your underwear?"
Oh god, that's an
Is
awkward
it
question.
gay?
I don't think I would ask anybody for their underwear, but to be honest with you, I don't think it's gay, but hygienically, like I don't,
Hygienically,
it dep
no.
whatever, man. Like if your pants are shatted up, then you gotta get the hell out of there, man. I
Right.
don't think a pair of underwear is
Evacuate.
gonna help you. Like, what are you gonna
Right.
wear his boxers on the way home? If
The
you're hungover, I'm
boxers, and then you
assuming you
put the
can't
shit
drive.
pants over that, and you're like, "Oh God, thank God."
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think
Doesn't
nowadays
sound
it's
bad.
not as people don't care as much anymore, man. Like look at those prank videos. Those
I think it's
guys that walk
hilarious.
around.
I would definitely be like, "Yo,
Yeah,
I
like
shit my
whatever,
fucking
man.
pants. Can you
I mean,
please give me
I
clothes?"
think it's I think it's different if you were like if that happened to you and you're with your friends versus you're at work or something. Like
Yeah.
that would be
Oh my
you
God.
you'd be applying for another job like the moment
That's
you
the
got
thing,
home,
bro. I
man.
shit like 5 times a day at work, eh? And like I've been trying to cut
Yeah.
it down to like two, but now at the security job, it doesn't matter. I cannot shit. I can't.
Yeah, buddy, that's
I'm not
like days
allowed
back when
to.
I worked for 911, man. You had a
I do
10
like
hour out of
15
12 hours.
fucking hours, dude. It's a 12-hour
Yeah.
shift, but I have to walk everyone to their car. So they're still there for like another 2 hours. So, I get there at 9:45, and realistically, it closes at 9. We leave at 9:45. We leave at like 10:50 to 11 some nights. So
Mm,
it's more of like a 15-hour shift. So,
yeah,
but
that's long then.
that's like another thing. Like I gotta walk them to their car. Like I got nothing wrong with that, but like it's so crazy, man, that like there are fucking just rapists out there. There's literally people out
Yeah.
there like, I really want to fuck something, so I'm going to go
Not so
fuck.
worried about that over here, but yeah, back
Yeah,
home
no,
might be a
over
different
there it's
story.
like there's a rapist,
And
like someone in a Bugatti will pull up and pull out a plasma rifle and like blow you to pieces or something. Quite literally, dude. You live
no,
in
but it's like funny you mentioned that. I guess it's different for females over here because there are so many male workers that they look with their eyes, man. Like
mm,
my wife, I'm not female, I can't talk for her, but I try to assume that there are a lot of guys that, God knows what they're thinking when a female walks by. And it makes sense, man. Like they're clustered in like a 12-hour shift. Like they're away from home where they grew up
Yeah.
with friends, and like the culture is a little bit different here too. Like they really try to, I guess, protect females, man. I know it
Have you
probably
seen
seems on the
India, dude?
contrary, but
Like white chicks in India?
yeah, I know but
They're like
again, it's like
you're a
down to the religion,
celebrity
like
for being white.
yeah,
Like
so.
people just want to walk up and take pictures with you. It's fucking crazy. And there
And in the
I
West, it was the opposite, man. Like if you, like
oh yeah,
it's the
everyone wants
opposite
to get the
now. It's
fuck
like
away from you in like America.
300 years ago, if you had white skin, it meant you weren't a worker. You were rich enough not to work in the fields, and then now it's like the opposite. It's like how tanned can you get in the West? Because that implies that you have money to go sit on a beach for, a week or
Yeah,
two
right,
and
right,
and
right.
make selfies, right? Now it's like it's shifting back to, oh, you got dark skin, you're an idiot because you're stupid because you're getting cancer or whatever. Like
Yeah.
the times shift, man, and it's like in India, it's probably a whole set of different things. But yeah, I get what you're saying, man. Some of them, if you're white, you're desirable
Mhm.
because you come from a different lineage or something. I don't know. Yeah, next question, man.
Okay, you and your
I'm assuming you
friend
have
are
more.
smoking marijuana. You're smoking weed, right? And then your
Highly
friends
unlikely, but okay.
say highly unlikely, but say you're smoking weed with your boys, right? Or like you're trying it out, like for the first time, right? So you're smoking for the first time. You're with me and some friends, and one of my friends says to you, "Hey, there's this cool smoke trick where I blow the smoke into your mouth," and you're like, "Yeah, sure." Is it gay?
I wouldn't say yes.
Yes, yes. Okay,
Like
you are
I don't.
correct. It's gay.
I I I wouldn't do that, man. Again, hygienically, I don't think it has anything to do with
It's weird. It's like, yeah, let me just
whatever. I don't think there's
take
anything
in
to
what
do
you
with like
just exhaled.
sharing someone else's. I don't share drinks, dude.
Right,
Like
right.
I, some girl I know from like motorcycling. We were in line at to get like a nice cappuccino,
Okay.
and these things like they're not cheap, man. Like they charge you, I don't know how much, it's like 5-6 bucks American for one of those medium or largest. And
Right.
we're standing there in line. She just literally grabs my straw, takes like a huge like drag from it, and then like the worst part is like I know this girl's got herpes. She got like herpes right
Oh
on her lip, man.
no.
I'm like, it's yours now.
Oh my God.
Like to me that was
I
like
feel like because you're
whatever.
you, you would just be like, I don't know, like I feel like I know a part of you, like the unleashed Andreas, where you would just be like, "Okay, I don't want your fucking herpes, eh?" You know what I mean?
Oh, it was
What
disgusting.
did you say to that? Like, how do you
I said
respond
to
to
her, I'm
that?
like, it's yours now. Like I'm not putting my lips to that, man. It's like,
You got me fucked up
do I
there.
want to have herpes because I shared some
Because
crap when
yeah.
you had like an open sore on your mouth? No
Oh,
thanks.
gross, man. That's gross. Trying to
Yeah,
set up a
so
fucking pop filter.
blowing smoke into someone else's mouth. I
Mouth.
don't. That sounds like something a 14-year-old would do when they're
And
trying
it is
pot for the
something.
first time.
Yeah, and that
I'm
is something
like,
that I
I'm
did
I'm
when I
beyond
was
that, dude.
14. Try and pop for the
And,
first time.
and like I said, over here, you don't have access to that stuff. Like you can barely get the really strong pain meds if you have like surgery or something. Like if you get your wisdom
Yeah.
teeth removed. So
I'm
yeah,
a
man, I don't
I'm a
know. I mean,
new
these
age
scenarios
drug
are.
addict. I don't do pills, but like if I did, yeah, dude, it'd be a fucking pain trying to get them in your country. You guys are
Yeah,
just cracked down on everything. So
but then like, okay, so I can get booze here, right?
yeah,
But
you can
when
order
I'm
that,
dry,
can't you?
I, yeah, you need like a license and you can go buy it, no problem. Like it's gonna be more money because it's imported, right? Like they don't produce it anywhere near locally, but we
Sure.
still get like American brands and like uh I don't need alcohol in order to like finish the week. Like okay, sometimes I miss the taste of like a beer or whatever, like something
Yeah,
malty
of
or
course, of course. Yeah.
whiskeys. So like yesterday, for example, was started our weekend. I came home and I bought swear to God, Budweiser, the American one, not the European one.
Hell
It was
yeah.
non-alcohol, man, so it tastes a little bit sweeter. But like,
You got a
I missed
non-alcohol.
that.
Oh, you just wanted the beer.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I
man,
it was in
eh?
a can, and I
I can go
bought.
for an O'Doul's, bro. O'Doul's with a
They
little bit of lime and salt. You ever had that?
they
O'Doul's?
had the they had it in a can, right? So God knows how long it's sitting in the aluminum. But like, I bought the bottle one too. They had Budweiser apples. I'm like, whatever, I'll try
Did you
it, man.
like
Like,
it?
I haven't tried it yet. It's in the fridge, man. I think it's a little bit early to be,
Yeah, 7 a.m.
wanting to taste the beer. Like I think I'm programmed for coffee or tea this
Mhm.
early, but But yeah, man, like if I want that stuff, I can get it. I think a lot of people don't like I'm almost like tired of like explaining this to people. It's like as long as you're not a Muslim, because they won't sell, alcohol or pork to the Muslims, but that stuff exists over here. Like people think it's like, oh, we live in the Stone Age over here, but it's not, man. Like
Nah, man,
I'm curious to see what they do
it's
when
very
World Cup.
progressive. Well, in a way,
Yeah,
progressive. Yeah, it's
but
progressive.
like conservative. Like it kind of
Yeah,
reminds me of Switzerland, dude. Like where it's like you can walk down the street with a 40 of vodka, and as long as you're not causing shit, you won't get in
right.
trouble, right?
No, I love
Whereas
that.
in
I love that.
Canada, man, you walk down the street with the 40, somebody will call the cops on you.
Dude, you walk down the street with
Like,
a 40 Smith and Wesson, and
oh yeah, that's
you're out of the country. No, or maybe not, but you probably go to
depending
jail.
on what state you're in. Yeah,
There is,
depending on
yeah,
what.
or province or whatever the fuck they got.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like everywhere you go, it's different rules, right? So I mean,
Hmm.
I try to keep my nose clean here. Like I was telling the kids, I don't even litter, man. Like first of all, I don't have the habit. I don't throw crap wherever I go.
No, I always put shit
And
in my back left pocket. That's what I do. Whenever I like
yeah,
take
man.
some like trash or like even like a pack of cigarettes, and I throw. I'm an asshole who throws my cigarette butts out the window. But even when I buy American Spirits, they come with a little pouchy, and I put my
Mhm.
cigarettes in that pouch. And you're supposed to throw that pouch away, and they say shit for the environment on them, and it's like put all your cigarette butts and any cigarette butts you find in this pouch, and then just fill it up
Yeah, and I
and
know they're
throw it
doing
away.
that.
It's so cool,
That's
man. If you
cool.
smoke cigarettes, dude, they're such cool people. They're like, you know what? You're gonna fucking kill yourself. At least don't be a dick. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I
yeah.
like it.
I I think that sums up a lot of what's wrong with the world, man. Is some people are just dicks, like they
Yeah.
don't care, right? And
Hmm.
it's like, I guess
Fucking, I'm
as
killing
a
myself.
teacher, you're always trying to tell the kids now when they're still young to give a crap about stuff. Not to give too much of a crap because you get the people that are on the opposite end of the spectrum.
Sure, yeah,
And
but
it's the same thing with parents, right? But yeah,
to know what you're
I wanna,
doing and stuff, and like be
yeah,
aware
like to
of
be aware,
self-aware. Yeah.
yeah. Like that's the problem too. And like it goes back to like what I was saying at the beginning of the show here. Like you I respect that the people here they know that education's a good thing, but
Yeah.
like they don't always know how to help their kid the best way. So you
That's
got
kind
like
of
those
what.
parents who are like, let's get the notes from the teacher and let's study 5 minutes before the test so he gets an A. And then you've got the other parents who are like, no, we're not helping the kid. So the kid needs to know how to read and needs to know how to do things on their own. Like so
Wow. Yeah.
I don't
No.
know, man. It's like
Yeah,
there's like
that's like
over
opposite
parenting.
sides of the spectrum, kind of together. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like the helicopter parents, which and then you
Mm.
got the parents that are never there. It's like, that doesn't matter what country you're in. It depends on like a lot of factors. So
One more question.
go ahead, man. Hopefully it's another insane one because that's been
Two
entertaining.
more questions. All right, but so you're in line at the grocery store, and you look behind you, and there's a guy with flaming hot Cheetos in one hand and a Mountain Dew Code Red in the other hand. And you look up and down at him. You know he's wearing cargo shorts and a Mortal Kombat 9 shirt that's tucked into those cargo shorts, and of course he's got a tactical belt that clicks together at the front. And you know what? Fuck it. He's got a propeller hat. He's got a hat with a propeller on it. And in the hand with the Mountain Dew, he's got one of those big box vapes, those boxy mod vapes, and he blows a cloud right on your fucking face. Is it gay?
Wow.
Do you tell him, you know, fucking gay? What you just did to me was when he
Again, one of those highly unlikely situations. I'd say first of all, I wouldn't go to Walmart.
you're right here, not in the grocery store.
I like rarely
You're right.
inside. We don't have Walmart over here, but yeah, no, it's like I don't.
So you are
Somebody
at
blew
the
smoke in
market.
my
So you
face.
are at the
I'd
market, or
I
whatever.
would ask the guy like, what part of social distancing doesn't he understand?
No,
Right?
it's one of
Like
those big boxy ones. So
I
he's
think
say he's 6 feet away from you, and he just blows it like across right into your fucking like it travels. You see it go through. You try dodging it, but it somehow just gets right in your fucking face. You smell it, and you know what it smells like? It smells like peach mango.
I would do what we did
Peach
when we
mango
were kids
freeze.
when we used to go by cemeteries. I just hold my breath and or shift away from the cloud of whatever. God, the vape. It's
Get
probably
that
one of
gay
those
shit
like
away from me.
It's probably one of those like flavored vapes too, because they have like 10,000 different chemicals they put in that
Oh
stuff
yeah, of
now.
course.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's here. It's like
Is it
they
gay?
have that. I don't know. I think it would be annoying,
Yeah,
but
we're gonna go with like
yeah.
gay as in lame.
Well, you painted the picture. I'm like, the first thing I thought was, this is Walmart. Like,
In
you just tried the
Walmart.
guy
I was
head
thinking
to
like
toe. I'm like,
Kroger or something.
where do you find characters like this? Like,
Right,
only at Walmart, man. Like,
right. The hat with the
yeah.
propeller, curly hair, and a neck beard.
Next question. Come on, you got one
Next
more, right?
question. Okay. Vertical monitor. Is it gay?
No, man. People use it for chat streams all the time, right?
Oh yeah.
I
Okay.
don't think that's. I
I'm
don't
glad
think
I'm not
that's
the only
gay.
one who thinks that. All right,
I
sweet.
don't think it's stupid.
That
I
concludes.
think. I
Is
think
it
some
gay?
people. Yeah, I think some people get too fussy over the aesthetics of things. Like if you got a triple monitor setup and they don't match, like
Right.
whatever.
I have a
Like
curved one
I
on
don't
the
know.
left, like a really square one with like a small square one, but it has the best quality. And then like the curved one has shit quality and a spot on the bottom. And then my far right monitor is just vertical, and I use it for 4chan and yeah, the chat, which
Yeah,
usually
I don't
has
know. It's
very good
I
quality.
just say to each his own, man. Like
Right, fuck yeah.
who am I? Who am I to judge what other people, or at least who am I to verbalize what other people are doing? Like, of course, everybody has their opinions,
Yeah.
but I don't
Did you
care.
see
Like,
the debate?
no, I saw kind of bits of it, and somebody posted a clip that was like the debate was the equivalent of an elephant having a diarrhea storm on. I don't know if you saw that meme
It
yet, but
it was
I didn't.
absolute. I watched the debate when it happened. I was working my first night on the job, on duty, uh, at this contracting thing, and yeah, I was watching it with the guy who was training me, and he's like complete. He's not like me, but he's very far right wing, just like a FUD, as I like to call him. But yeah, carries a sweet Glock 19. Very cool
Oof,
Glock
made
19.
in Austria. Nice. Keep the
Yes,
Austrian economy going, boys.
that's what I'm saying, baby. And all polymer, completely reliable. Never seen him fail. Beautiful. I've seen him fail once, so that was on a clip video during a cop
Yeah,
shop
so
meeting.
what
But
happened? You guys were watching or on the
we were
TV screen
watching
or
it. We
something?
were watching on we had it on his tablet, and we have like a little kiosk at the front of the what's it called, like at the entrance of the dispensary, and I was just I just kind of sat there and for my lap, just watched the video, and he was just watching it with me. He would at certain parts would grin at me, like grin like at what Biden was saying, and then look back at me. And I would be grinning because it was fucking hilarious. It was fucking
Yeah.
hilarious. It I knew what was going to happen before watching. I was like, Trump's going to go on there and he's going to go give an old man a stroke and get charged with murder because that's what's going to happen. And
Yeah.
I watched it and it almost happened. He every time Trump would catch him at a certain brought up like certain things that weren't brought up. Like for example, just a real quick example. I don't want to get into politics at all, but one real quick one was Biden's son a lot of interaction with the Russian government and is receiving $100,000 a month with the Russian government. And they were like, "What?" He brought that up. He's like, "What's up with this? Why is he getting 12, 1.2 mil a year from the Russian government?" And he's like, "Shut up, man! Shut up, man!" And he just keeps saying, "Shut up, man!" And the moderator is trying to keep everything stable. And oh my God, Trump would talk over the moderator, and the moderator would be like, "Mr. President, your 2 minutes
Yeah.
is over." It was
Yeah,
just
I think the whole thing's designed to be more entertaining than it is serious, man. And it's
right.
unfortunate for the people that are affected by it, like, in the States and
I'm not
you know,
affected.
and,
I live in a
and
red state, so everything
but
here is Trump.
no, like I mean, yeah, they do. It's depending on where you are. It's either you love or you
Oh,
hate them,
right,
right?
right, right,
It's
right.
I'm kind of like on the in between. I mean, like my opinion doesn't really matter, but I just think
Right,
like
right.
it's odd that you've got 330 plus million people and it boils down to two characters every time. Like look at the
Yeah.
last couple elections, Hillary and Trump. Like I wouldn't vote for any of either one.
Yeah, no,
And then you
right.
got Biden and Trump. It's like where are all the decent people? Like are they
Right.
too are they
happened to the
too
Kennedys?
smart? Are they too like smart to get involved with like a mud throwing like contest? Like that's what it seems like every single political showdown is like the other person and their team is just dragging dirt. Like what has
The
Biden's
dominant
son got
narrative
to
in
do with
America
anything, right?
is
Like he's not
white
going to
people
be
are
the president. Of course, yeah, he's tied to
The
him. The
dominant
same goes for
narrative in
Trump and his
America is
family with Jared or whatever his name is.
Mm.
But it's like at the end of the day, I don't know, man. I think it just sucks, man, because you've
When
got
it
some
comes
people
down
that
to those two, it's like, oh, come on, really? Like,
yeah, and I mean politics and
like we gotta
debates and all
pick
that.
between these guys.
I don't know. I'm not educated enough on the facts on both sides, man. And it's like I know that's not a great answer, but it just like if I were an American and I had to vote, it would be like difficult, man. It's like do you take which
85.
poison do you put, down your mouth? It's like this one versus that one. And I
Yeah.
think it's something that it would involve so much time and thought. In the end, it kind of seems fruitless because both choices are not ideal, at least in my mind, right? For
Yeah.
other people, it's going to be more clear cut. Like they're going to be like Trump 100%, or on the other end of the spectrum, they'll be like, no, Biden 100%. Trump's a clown. Trump's a this. Trump's a that. But at the end of the day, that job is not an easy job, man. Like in my opinion, he's a puppet. There are way too many people behind the scenes that control things. And, yeah, at the end of the day, he can do things, but
It's
I wouldn't want the
definitely,
job.
yeah, no.
I
Me
wouldn't
either.
want the job at
Oh,
all,
fuck
man.
no.
And it's like nowadays with the internet and everything, like you're somebody's joke for the next like 5-10 years, man. Like
Oh my god, yeah.
it's like I don't know. That's my opinion.
Like the amount of people that are just going to outright hate you.
I think whatever the outcome is, like
I think
you're
about
like,
all the
damn,
people
did
that
you-
want to literally kill you.
yeah, because they can't think on a higher level and understand that things are more complicated than just black and white, right?
Yeah.
It was the same with Obama, like, and Bush before him. Like people that were in the Obama corner were like, "Oh, it's all Bush's fault," and Trump's corner now, it's all Obama's fault. And like any person with the right mind knows that when you try to do political things, that there's always going to be that other side that doesn't want you to be able to do anything, and like they'll vote it down, or I don't know the full details of how things work in the Senate and all that, but
Yeah.
it's complicated, man. Like you want to do
Very,
something, but you're
dude.
handcuffed, and it's like it doesn't matter whether you're a Republican or a Democrat. The other one is gonna it's their job to make your life difficult, to make you look like a bad president.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, again, I wouldn't take that job. I think that's it's like you're set up for like doom before you even start, And you seem to always inherit the previous or the last couple, what do they call it? The last administration's problems that their own party was, creating. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's so
Sorry, I twisted that into politics here, but this is
you're
my
good. No,
that's my opinion as
this is
a
what this
non-American that observes from like a very limited viewpoint.
No, yeah.
That's my opinion.
You're all good. You see, and you're just telling us what you've seen so far.
Yeah, like I
so
said.
we're getting to about the point where we're gonna wrap it up. But before we do, we have a video. We're gonna do a video at the end of the week here. So let me just grab it real quick. Gotta find it. Here it is. Perfect. So just bring it to 0-0 and tell me when you're ready.
All right. Let me hold on a second. All right, we're good to go.
All right.
So
And
shall I hit play or we're gonna count it down?
when I say go, 3,
Okay.
2, 1, go.
Well, hello there, little guy. What you doing, fella? Did you want to come out and play?
That's a familiar sight over here. look at that, man. The legs are,
Oh my
they're glowing, man.
god. They're glowing.
Jeez.
There, isn't that
Yeah.
better?
Oh my god, this guy's gonna fucking kill someone. That concludes
Yeah.
this week's video, or the video of the week.
Wow, that was entertaining, man.
Oh yeah. Alright. For
Yikes.
those of you watching on Twitch, it's gonna end right. Hey Jake, I think I'm gonna talk to you tomorrow with this update. Absolutely, I'll see you tomorrow, it's Keith. But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up here on Twitch. Everybody watching on Twitch. Keith, have a good night.